Gosh, she calls him an uncle, isn't she?
Pardon?
Uncle, uncle, uncle,
She loves that word, doesn't
uncle, uncle. And then when he comes, she goes all shy.
she? Yeah.
Yeah, she's like all shy.
So how are you, mum?
I'm very well apart from this cold I'm trying to get rid of.
How long have you had your cold for?
About 2 weeks.
Is it?
Yeah. But it's getting better. It's clearing up.
1 second. So
I
that
guess it's seasonal cold. Everyone has it.
what do you take for your cold as well?
I have been taking some. I haven't had a cough, so it's mainly just things to unblock my nose, tablets, capsules.
Are there any ancient Caribbean remedies?
Oh, my brandy and lime with honey.
Yeah.
I've been taking some of that
Yeah.
and rubbing myself down with Vicks. Oh yes, good old Vicks on the chest. Oh, I should switch off my phone.
Yeah.
I'll put it on silent. Yeah. Yeah.
So how's things been these last couple of weeks, months since the last time we spoke? How have you felt?
Since
going
a lot has happened since we last spoke. Mainly, obviously, the passing of my mother,
Yeah.
which has been pretty interesting, and now the aftermath of that is even more interesting.
Why was the passing of Granny interesting?
It was interesting because I think I was trying to. It's something that I knew that was going to happen at some time, but it was how I felt about it. I think that was interesting, or how I was going to feel about it when it happened,
Yeah.
and then when it happened, how I felt about it.
How do you feel?
To be honest, I haven't. Unless someone knows me and understands me, they might not understand my answer to that. I don't feel anything at all, because I think I feel as if I lost my mother a long time ago anyway.
Yeah.
So to me, it was just somebody I know that passed away.
Yeah.
I didn't have any emotional attachment to her passing,
Yeah.
which sounds very sad, really, because it's like I feel as if I've been deprived of grieving the loss of my mother. Because even though I felt I lost her a long time ago, it wasn't even a grieving, it was more a hurt rather than a grieving. So I don't feel as if I've ever grieved the loss of my mum.
Do you think you ever will?
If we can't say how we will or won't feel tomorrow, we don't know how we feel tomorrow. Maybe one day it might hit me, maybe it never will. But I do feel like I feel totally indifferent towards when I hear people talk about like the mum, or when I see, they've lost their mum, I just don't feel that at all
Yeah.
for mine.
What does that say about what does that say about your opinions of family in general? Or what are your opinions of family in general, if that's your feeling for your mum?
That's only because, but that my feeling about family is still that very important. And I think that's what makes it worse.
Yeah.
That's what makes it harder, because I know the importance of family. Because I know as a mother, I know that love for your children is, and I don't feel my mother had that love as a mother, and that's what makes it more important for me to show that love to my children and to understand and to bring my family together, because I'd hate to think that something like that happens to me and my family is so divided as how I feel my mother has left us divided.
I'm sure you'll be fine on that point, mum.
I hope so. I hope so. But no, it's my opinion on family is still very much the same in that respect.
Does your relationship with your mum, or the lack of relationship with your mum, still have a part to play in you now?
To a certain extent, I think yes, it does. Because I think, I know some people sometimes try to say to me, it's not my mother's fault, it's to me, making excuses for her, reasons for her. But to me, I just think a mother's natural instinct is to always protect her children, always do the best for her children, and her children comes first no matter what. And whatever was lacking in my mother's life, that wasn't the case. I don't know, but I can't think of anything that would make that point different for me where my children are concerned.
But so, what do you feel like you've missed from the relationship that you didn't have with your mum?
That thing called unconditional love.
Really?
Simply that. Unconditional love. Because that unconditional love means it's almost like no matter what you say or do, I still love you. And I might not like you sometimes, but I still love you. And that's the bottom line of anything. And the way I don't feel as if I've done my mother anything to cause her not to love me.
Yeah.
But obviously...
You feel like your mum didn't love you?
Not how a mother loves her child, no. I personally feel my mother was a very selfish person and really just put herself first. That's how I feel. I don't, because I think now that she's passed, and as a result of certain things, I don't feel that she did. And even if she did, she might have done in a small way, maybe. You know, some people might say, no, that's wrong. You know, she did love you, but my mother, her children, her 4 children that she had, she did not treat us all equally, and that's evident. And then that makes you wonder, did she ever love you as one of her children?
Do you ever resent any of your other siblings?
No, not at all. No. I've never resented them at all.
Do you ever think you'll reach a place of forgiveness?
For her? Yeah. I mean, I do forgive her, don't get me wrong. I don't hold any grudge towards her. In fact, the sad thing about it, I don't feel anything. So I don't feel angry towards her. I don't feel I'm holding a grudge. I feel totally indifferent. I don't feel bitter towards her. So I suppose sometimes I felt sorry for her in a way, because I think, I can't speak for her, she's not here, but I think she had her own issues which she dealt with very badly. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't hold any resentment towards her or anything. So I don't feel I've got any forgiveness to me. It's there.
You said something important, as she dealt with things badly, probably because of what? An experience or something. Mm-hmm. Does that create a degree of empathy for how she may feel?
That's why I said, to a certain degree. That's why I said I feel sorry for her. Yeah. I feel sorry for her in that way. Yeah. Which, although I feel sorry for her because of that, but at the same time, it still showed me that I could be wrong, but this is how I see it. She put herself first rather than her children. So to me, it's like, no matter what's happened around you, what experience you've got, when you have children, they are the number one. They come first no matter what, and I don't think that was the case with my mother. So although I have empathy with her to a certain degree, and I feel sad for her, but at the same time, I think there was a certain level of selfishness on my mother's part.
Do you feel like you have closure?
Yeah, I do now. I do. Yeah, because there is closure, because it's almost like she's gone. There's nothing more. There's nothing more I can. There's nothing more to find out. There's nothing more to know. You know, unless somebody came up to me now and said, "Oh, this happened," or whatever. But there's nothing I can do about it anyway. So to a certain degree, yeah, there is closure. To a certain degree. Because I feel she's taken a lot of stuff to her grave. So in a way, that is a closure, because I'm never going to know the real or full or true story of things. So just left with that, and as far as I'm concerned, that book's closed now. That chapter's closed.
That must weigh on your mind or your heart.
It used to, but not now.
No.
I let it go. Because this is the sort of things that can drive you crazy.
How did you let it go? Was it a process? Is it something consciously done? Was it time? How did you go about it?
It's time. It's faith. And as I said before, it's my faith that's got me through a lot of things.
Yeah.
You know, and I try to understand, because I try to understand what it was that why she behaved the way that she behaved, hard as it was for me to understand it, but I had to understand it for myself more than for her. I had to try to understand. So to me, there came a point where I think it didn't come overnight. It happened over a period of time, because there was a time I didn't know where I was, what I was, who I was. I did feel as if I was drowning. But I think my faith and my belief has got me through it, and trying to see a good side rather than a bad side, or trying to see the positive rather than the negative. That's what's got me through it.
What do you mean by there was a time when you didn't know who you were?
Well, when me being the secret that everybody knew about except me, I was the secret child that, you know, that I was the one, that the elephant in the room, and that everybody knew that I didn't know. So when everything came out, and I went through a period of total confusion as to, oh my gosh, who am I? Where do I come from? You know, why am I left in this limbo? Why isn't there, you know, the one person that's supposed to be there to comfort me, to answer my questions, to do things, was the person that left me there. I just felt like someone just picked me, or she picked me up, dropped me in the middle of the ocean and said, right, that's it, sink or swim. It's like, I don't know, what am I doing? Where am I going? How do I get through this?
So how did you find yourself, if you ever did?
I think I'm still finding myself, still trying to find myself at times, yeah. I think the times I am still a little bit sort of not sure.
Were you sure of yourself before the big outbreak of the story?
I think up until I was about 18, 19, I was pretty sure of myself. I think from the time the question of my father became an issue in my life, that's when the confusion came into who I am.
From 19?
19 was when I found out. Who I believe, the person who was there, who I thought was my father, wasn't my father. And it was at 19 I found that out.